Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're outside the Royal Ontario Museum in Toronto, the ROM, one of my favorite museums in the world, not just in Canada, but in the world. And anytime you go travel anywhere, it's always a good idea to know the language. And sometimes you might speak the language they speak in the country you're going to, but some of the vocabulary words are kind of lost on you. And so what I want to do today is give you a few Canadian English words that Americans and other travelers might not know, so you're not lost when you hang out with some of the locals when you're here, because they are really nice, so you're going to talk to them, all right? So one, if you want to really make some friends, if they ask you, hey, I'm going to go to a Twofer, you want to join me? Well, a Twofer isn't just a number. 2-4 is when you go to the shop and you're going to buy beer. Now, the first time I heard it, I thought 2-4, oh, so they're getting like 2 4-packs, so it's 8 beers? No, a 2-4 is a case of beer. 24 cans of beer. 2-4, 24 beers. So that's a twofer. All right. Now, another word you might hear is loony. And now I know when you think loony, you think Looney Tunes, crazy. No. A loony is a $1 coin. Okay. And if you hear the word toonie is a $2 coin. All right. And don't be loony in the way I say it and throwing away your loonies, because the coins here are actually worth something. So remember that when you're here. All right. Now, another thing I think is important is when you're here, it's going to be a bit chilly, okay? And you might need a hat or a stocking cap. And what they call a stocking cap here is actually a toque, okay? So if you say, hey, where's my toque? They're looking for their stocking cap. So you have that. That's one of my favorite ones personally. It takes me back to watching, Doug and Bob and Kenzie, the McKenzie brothers from Strange Brew. It's just one of those things that makes me smile, okay? Now, which is funny because that reminds me of another word that sometimes you might hear, which is hoser, which just means like an idiot or a fool. You don't hear it as much anymore, but yeah, hoser's kind of a thing too. Another word you might hear is Canuck. And so a Canuck is just a Canadian. It's a person from Canada, kind of a slang word for that, so you do have that. Now, if you're looking to go grab a bite to eat or you want to get a coffee, your friends might say, hey, you want to go to Timmys? And Timmys isn't somebody's house. Timmys is Tim Hortons. Timmy, it's a coffee shop. They have donuts, Timbits, these little donut holes you'll like. They got sandwiches there. It's very common, especially if you're on the highway driving. So if they say you want to go to Timmy's, they're asking if you want to go to a specific coffee shop called Tim Hortons. Now, another word you need to know when you come here, and it's probably the one you're expecting me to talk about, is a. Because you know what I'm talking about, eh? And this use of a at the end of sentences in Canada, I know Americans make fun of them quite a bit, but it's actually a word that you use in order to make any sentence a question, or if you want to confirm something, like you want to say, it's a beautiful day today, eh? So you're asking them, hey, it's a beautiful day, you're stating that, but you put the a at the end, it makes it into a question. So if you speak Spanish, it's kind of like at the end of the sentence, if you put verdad, it's just like that. It's just that they use it a lot, eh? Yes, they do use it a lot, so you have that. Some other words that might get in there for you. Some of the cities have their own nicknames, like here in Toronto, it's the 6, but it's spelled with the number 6, I-X. If you hear anybody talk about Cowtown, they're talking about Calgary, which is a really cool city, by the way. Or if you hear the Peg, that's Winnipeg. So towns have their own nicknames, but I think when I look at it, my favorite word that I learned, this is somebody told me the other night, I don't know if it's legit, they could just be messing with me, but they said I have a good Molson muscle or beer belly, okay? So, yeah, those are some Canadian words I think that might help any tourist, whether you're going to be going to the ROM or you're going to be going throughout the country, to help you know some words you might need to know in English that you thought you spoke here in Canada. Oh, and if you're looking for a few of the French Canadian words that you might need, one is guichet. Guichet is actually ATM in French, well, in the French in Quebec. Also, you'll see 5 à 7, which is 5 to 7, which means happy hour, so you can't go wrong with that. And then you'll hear dépanneur, or just dep. That is actually a corner shop you'll see. Like if you're in Montreal, you'll see the deps all over the place. So just wanted to help you know a few words to help you enjoy Canada even better. All right, I'll say bye. I got to go back into the ROM. This is the Awesomeness Museum. I love it. Bye from here in beautiful Toronto.